What's up, you guys? So today we're going to be doing a tour review on a really overdue figure. By overdue, I mean like 2 years overdue. And that is the Hammond Collection Allosaurus. Now, some of you guys may be wondering, bro, you're a bit late. Why are you reviewing it just now? Well, I had to wait till Christmas to get it, so... Anyway, so, as we can see, the figure looks pretty nice. I mean, there's definitely some criticisms it needs. Well, there's definitely some criticisms I can share with it right off the bat. But we'll get into that later. And here's the Allosaurus right there in its true glory. In its true ugly rendered glory. We got the Hammond Collection logo up there. We got the Allosaurus name. And here we have it on the side with the goofy looking side render. We got the Big Rock logo down there and also the other Hammond Collection logo. And then here we have it on the back with like showing the eye detail, the animal itself, the animal again. And at the bottom we can see the 3 animals releasing soon, which Ghost, Triceratops, and Scutosaurus. I recently made a video criticizing these 3, basically saying that the Hammond Collection is cooked. Probably my most controversial video right now. Even though really like no one agrees with me. Anyways, so here's the bio for it. I missed whenever they added like an image from the film, like on the box, and yeah, Allosaurus. In the aftermath of the events at the Lockwood estate, a camping trip goes awry when a family must protect themselves from the fierce Allosaurus. As the confrontation escalates, the delicate battle of coexistence is dangerously tested. Basically referencing that an Allosaurus stops by and, well, they fight. Now, we should hope for a Hammond Collection Triceratops sometime. Otherwise, this would be kind of pointless to have a battle at Big Rock figure without an Triceratops. Anyways, let's get the box open so that way we can get the beauty out. Alright, there's like already so many twisty ties. And touching this figure for the first time, feels nice. And I gotta say, it's a little bit bigger than I originally thought it was. I just gotta... Oh. Get out of there, man! Oh, it's tied in there. See, look at that, Mattel. You can fit long tails in there. You just gotta, like, lock in. And just... Well, one thing I gotta say right off the bat, this tail is long. And by long, I mean really long. I mean, seriously, this thing is longer than my forearm. Which, you guys probably don't know what my forearm looks like, but... For some reason, they positioned it to make the arms look... I don't know if this is supposed to go like this. It probably is though, but I'm just gonna test out some things, making sure my Allosaurus is okay. And oh my goodness, the articulation is so much better than I thought it was. Just now I gotta attach the tail. Alright. Bear with me, fellas. Alright. It's like, oh my goodness. Alrighty, we got the Allosaurus out, and holy crap! This thing is a lot better than I was expecting it to be. Now, let's just go over the criticism real quick before we praise it too much, because for one, the neck, it could be a bit shorter, honestly, not by much. And also, the head could be bigger. The head feels a bit small to me, and it's just, But at least they got the ratchet joints on, like, at least they did it like how they did one of the other figures. I can't remember which one it is. The Giganotosaurus. At least they did like the Allosaurus and put two separate joints for the jaws instead of making it on the same joint. And my camera, my tablet won't focus, but as you can see, it does have the sickle claw pupil, which isn't accurate for this species. It's supposed to have a dotted pupil, but Mattel loves sickle pupils for some reason. And a lot of people have been noticing this problem, and my Allosaurus suffers from this problem too. Pretty sure all the first release Allosaurus suffer from this problem, but some of the paint doesn't quite reach the arm on one side of the figure. Meanwhile, it does with this one. Meanwhile, it does on the other side. And also this weird little stripe right here. I mean, I don't know what this is for, because like it kind of gets cut off at the body. Mine has a couple of paint splotches, but honestly, that's not really too big of an issue. What is though is the plastic. I mean, what happened here, Mattel? And yeah, some of the plastic is already like being all goofy. And yeah, and the tail's slightly bent, although that's not really too much of an issue. And plus, I mean, that's basically a standard for Hammond collection figures at this point. The tail is bound to be bent. But anyways, let's start praising this figure. So first of all, it looks pretty good. I mean, I really like the red on its tiny face. Now the mouth isn't painted, obviously, because they don't paint the mouths for these. And I gotta say, the thing is decently tight. And at least they sculpted in a way which the pronated wrists look like, no, not pronated wrists. So the wrists look accurate, meanwhile, they look good. Because, I mean, if you really try pronating them, then what the hell are you doing, man? You're a monster. Anyways, positioning them back to normal. And I wish there would have been a little bit more paint detail on the legs, because like their legs are usually like pretty patterned out. And the tail also is decently tight, although I'm a little bit worried about how easy it is to like remove it, because like for some reason, like since like late 2022, like actually starting in 2023, their tails are kind of easy to like take off, which I guess it's beneficial to some collectors if they want to put it back in their box. I mean, I take advantage of this as well, so I can store my Hammond collection figures I don't really play with, because I don't have the best assets to display them for now. But yeah, so I think it's time for some articulation examinations. Okay, let's just take a look at the articulation, shall we? And another thing, I don't really like how this is sculpted. I mean, I don't like how they keep sculpting like these things at an angle. Like, why can't they just do it like at a nicer? Why can't they just do it like a? Why couldn't they have just sculpted it like this, huh? Although I understand, because like the spikes on here. But anyway, so the jaw can open and close. You're on a ratchet joint, so it should hold up pretty well. Head is on a ball joint. It can look left and right and up and down. Same goes with the neck here. Ball joint, left, right, up, down. The arm can rotate a full 360 and spread from the body. The elbows can also move up and down and rotate a full 360. The wrists can move back and forth and rotate a full 360. Legs here, they can spread apart and they can rotate a full 360, I think. Although, probably not, or at least I'm not going to try it out. Knees can move and rotate a full 360, probably. Ankles can move and rotate a full 360. And the feet can also move up and down and rotate a full 360. And I'm really glad that the feet look less cartoony than I thought they looked, but they still look kind of cartoony. And the tail is on a ball joint. And there's actually some ball jointed armature in here instead of like an actual wire, which that's good. It's actually pretty nice because, yeah, wire is made out of metal, and metal can fatigue pretty fast if you bend it too much. So that's why I don't really ever like bend any of my dinosaur figures' tails, because I'm worried that the metal might fatigue, and I'm worried that I'll break it. Which I hadn't done that before with any of my Hammond collection figures, and I don't plan on starting now. So, I think it's time that we compare this thing to some things. I'll be back. Now, I'm only going to be comparing it to, like, 3 things, because, like, for one, I don't have the spacing. I mean, the Allosaurus already doesn't fit in the frame. And, yeah. That's basically it. So here it is compared to the Ceratosaurus, another predator that lived during the Jurassic period. Now, this is definitely more of an Allosaurus anax-sized figure, although probably more accurate to Jimidensi, or however you pronounce his name. Which I am sad to announce that as of December 21st, the term Saurophagnax has now been invalidated, instead being replaced with Allosaurus anax, which is sad, but at least I can glaze the Path of Titans Wildfire Allosaurus skin, because that's the coolest freaking Allosaurus reconstruction ever. Anyways, gotta position my Allosaurus properly. But anyways, it's bigger than the Ceratosaurus, because, I mean, they hadn't done a medium figure in a long time. Actually, it's been a really long time. I don't know if they'll ever do it again. But if they are doing it again, then the JWFK Allosaurus is a pretty good figure to do. Would be a pretty good figure. Anyways, next up is the Ceratosaurus. No, not we just did the Ceratosaurus. No, I meant the Carnotaurus, which it looks pretty decent next to it. Just gotta figure out how I can make my Ceratosaurus stand. And as you can guess, they're both around the same size, because like this is the newish large size range. It's in between large and medium. And for the final comparison, this one's kind of a no-brainer if you're quite familiar with my previous custom. And it's been through some things. I don't know what happened, but here it is compared to my custom Hammond collection Allosaurus. And I can proudly announce that this figure has blew my custom out of the water, which I'm honestly pretty glad it did, because, I mean, if I'm really gonna have to settle with this, I mean, for one, there's some weird discoloration on it. I don't know what happened. And plus, the foot's just dangling down. Well, no, the toe is just like hanging on there for dear life. So, yeah, I can safely say that I'm not to play with this custom anymore, which I hadn't really played with it anyway, so. And in favor, I got my sweet Hammond collection Allosaurus. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, and goodbye.